Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for the losers bracket final. I'm Brycey. Joining me here is Courage. How are you, my friends?
I'm good, man. I've been able to watch some of these great matches throughout the day. Obviously, opened up the stream. Since then, been chilling over on the analyst desk. Some great interviews. A lot of help from Burns, giving his insight as a pro player.
That's awesome.
Also, always a pleasure to watch TP and Clayster. Absolute naturals, obviously, behind the controller and behind the desk. Up next, though. Yeah, exactly. Up next, though, we're going to have our losers bracket final, eLevate and Denial, a rematch from what we saw earlier today. But Bryce, you have an update on how eLevate got here. Who'd they beat to get in this spot?
They just took down Envious, if you guys weren't watching the feature station. The only map that Envy won was Biolab Uplink.
Kind of expected. Envy very strong in Uplink. It's been repeated by everyone time and time again. Let's quickly talk about that Envy squad, because this weekend they definitely showed up. Hopefully, I don't want to see any team changes there. I want to see the squad practice, obviously, through Season 3 and then into MLG Worlds.
I like the squad. I do like the squad. For me, I was having this discussion in the Pro Lounge, actually. I was asking some of the people, what they thought about who would actually come through and who would, see in the final here. And personally, I was kind of, maybe seeing... maybe we see MV in the final, maybe. Yeah. And obviously, I was wrong. So,
it's all right.
But I mean, we've seen Denial versus Optic now, we've seen MV versus Optic now. eLevate, we haven't, as far as I'm aware, unless I've got that completely wrong. But this is a great point that actually Burns brought up. He goes, eLevate now coming off a big win. Denial coming off a big loss. Yeah,
and we'll see how it affects these two squads. Obviously, both squads have very veteran players on it. The maps we're going to be seeing, though, to quickly run through. Biolab Hardpoint, Detroit Search and Destroy, Comeback Uplink, Solar Hardpoint, and then if it goes all the way to a Game 5 recovery, Search and Destroy. A big reminder for you all is that, well, the winner of this moves on to that Grand Finals to face Optic Gaming. They'll need to take home 2 best-of-5s to win the Grand Championship. We're just waiting for the players to join the lobby. We'll see when we can get them in here. I know they're still getting set up.
All right, let's just go through those maps again then. Let's have a little look and see if we can kind of figure out exactly what we need. Biolab Hardpoint. Now, if I remember correctly, last time around, Denial, fantastic on the respawn. For me, I'm kind of feeling eLevate here, to be honest with you. Like I said, coming off a big win, I think going to have the momentum. I think their ARs are really going to kind of hammer this down. They're certainly going to not make as many mistakes as they did last time. I mean, I remember correctly, they did win it. Denial massively slaying. So, moving on to Detroit Search and Destroy. For me, Search and Destroy, especially on Detroit, comes down to so many first picks and more of the tactics and where people end up stacking. Yeah. It does come into this. Do they push into school? Do they push into pit? Do they manage to get anything there? Mid-street's very, very dangerous. They're going to be using maybe sniper rifle to kind of pick that off of points. But for me, Detroit's one of these S&D maps where you're sitting there going, well, it's difficult to pick here because some teams, they throw these wild cards in, and we've seen it so much this event. And if they rush correctly, I mean, Hook, he's just been phenomenal at his aggressive pushes. So I kind of want to go with eLevate again on that one. I'm just feeling the eLevate squad here. Comeback Uplink. eLevate lost that against Envy. Sorry, I thought it was Biolab Uplink. They lost the Uplink against Envious. Yep. Now, what you can actually take from that is pretty much nothing. And the reason you can take nothing from that is that not only did Denial lose their Uplink, but it's Envious and their Uplink is superb. So it's kind of a 50-50 for me again. I think last time we saw these two squads, it was a close run thing. And I think we're going to see a similar thing here. The only difference is who really wants it more. Can they adjust to the losses and wins that have actually happened throughout this entire tournament? And you know what? I said I was trying to make a prediction and go through it. And I was hoping by at least mentally running through it in my head, I'd be more clear on the way I wanted to swing this. I'm not sure here. It's one of those things. I think maybe eLevate take this, if I'm honest.
Well, we will have to see. Let's quickly take a look at the two squads we're going to be seeing. Starting off with Classic Squad, that's eLevate. TJ Halley really making a breakout year for him all the way since those incredible plays back at UMG Orlando. Slack hopping up there with Diddy Kong. Classic, big AR on this team, and Saints as well. The slang power that he brings to this lineup between him and Slack is absolutely incredible to see. Now, Brycey, break down the other team we're going to be seeing in this matchup, the Wolfpack.
Well, let's jump on board with Denial. I mean, there's been so many big plays from these guys here. I mean, Replays has quite impressed me with some of the plays he's actually making really smart in certain areas. I think the biggest name you've got to speak about on this roster at the moment is going to be Hugh. He has made a huge name for himself this tournament. He's been dropping so many numbers, and we actually saw Replays talk about him earlier, saying, we'd be all sitting there on 15 kills. The guy's, already like 30 and 13.
Oh, and that's exactly what Replays was talking about. He just doesn't even understand where the kills come from. We'll see how he stacks up against eLevate here. I'd love to hop on board with him off the start. What I love about Hook is that he's all business, man. Yes, he's friendly in the pro player lounge. Yes, he's friendly to obviously everyone in the venue. You never see drama with him. He's always willing to get better as a player. He's done it all year long, constantly improving. Well, he finds himself at another opportunity to take home a grand championship off the start. He's already inside the hard point. Early control going to denial.
He will have it. He's looking at that first. He'll see one. He's almost going to see two there. Has to try and stay alive. Backing off now, using that external movement to just run around. Will eventually drop. Teammates now flooding in, but look at them all drop down and eLevate are going to have control.
That's really actually a nice start from eLevate. Obviously getting the less preferred side off the start. It's much easier to control circle when you spawn up in blue. They're able to break it before Denial even gets 10 points on the board. Now 15 seconds and growing in their favor. TJ picking up gunfight victories inside the hard point. He's on a 4 streak. And just like that, eLevate have turned things around in their favor.
Oh, he's still alive here, and this has been a huge amount of points they managed to get from it from a slightly slow start. They did manage to just overextend onto the green rail, but still alive. TJ Halley is wearing some sort of bulletproof vest at the moment. 4-0, now going to be trying to pinch here in a red. It doesn't matter, his teammates make all the kills, so he's just going to get the capture. Already
2 captures, every single one for his team. He hasn't died inside the hard point yet. Over on the rotation now, he's got that barrel in hand. Love to see him challenge the players pushing from green side of the map for that exact reason. Cutting down Slasher, the pressure continuing to stream in. You can see those blue arrows pushing one by one, and Bryce, really, it just seems like Denial haven't been able to get a fully coordinated push, but the double kill from Repace is going to open up that side of the map. The Wolfpack back in control.
Well, this is it. I mean, right now, eLevate are coming in with hot hands, and they're out slaying, they've out-rotated, they've stayed alive in key situations so far, but only second hardpoint, can't read too much into it, and we may see a Denial resurgence actually end up coming through, but it's not to happen just yet. The rotation could be crucial here. Blue Hill is a money hill. You can get a lot of time if you can get it right.
And you heard Clayster talk about it earlier on in the day. You can completely flip a map back into your favor. Yes, right now they're down by 55 seconds.
Oh, wow.
But they got the kills they need. Denial now in control of blue. We'll see how their communication stacks up here to call out exactly where the opponents are coming from. One flanking through bottom ice. Slasher able to pick that up with the help of Replays. Great start for Denial, and the challenge coming out of Temp. Look at the aggression as he picks up 1 kill, but unfortunately TJ Halley's able to clean him up.
They've done such superb work here, Courage. Let's be honest. Pushing out the hard point has denied any pressure from eLevate actually to be able to get into the hill yet. They've not been able to effect any effective pinches. And right now, you can actually see Replay still alive. They're not being pushed that hard.
And here's the swap to the AR from Replays. He's on a 5 streak. Staying alive inside that hard point is what makes him such a dominant player for this squad. It's mentioned time and time again. If he dies inside the hard point, really, who's there to pick up the objective for this team? It's been something that's plagued them. The slaying power is there. And Brycey, I mentioned it just prior to this hill starting up. They were down by 55. At the end of this one, it's going to be all tied up at 70. And just like that, Denial with a perfect hold have brought it back.
It said it's called Money Hill for a reason, and it's so vital here to get that because it is a swing hill. And they've managed to do the work here. They got into that hill, they've pushed it out, and they've brought this game right back down to the wire. Now Slasher's now moving in, looking for a 2-piece fires, but hits nothing but air. And right now, they're just sizing each other up here. They're just trying to get the setup correctly, making them force out with the red. Hugh now trying to start the heat up. He's 12 and 13 negatives, something you don't usually see with him on the replay, on the respawns. And now Temp and Saint are going to come back in here, and you can see eLevate now going to be struggling now they haven't got that lockdown.
Temp just made a huge play for his team. They had an AR sitting top green hut. He was ready to rotate towards blue if he needed to. Temp hit the flank through middle ice, giving the call out to his teammate who could then continue to focus on the hard point. He picked up the 2-piece on the flank, got control back for his team. They continued to hold down the good spawns. A heads-up play from Temp, but this game remains close. eLevate continuing to make sure they can at least get some scrap time in their favor. And now we get to the most hectic hard point of them all, middle square. The lead a little bit in favor of Denial.
TJ Halley coming in with a big 2-piece. And now eLevate should be able to lock this one down here. They've just got to be very careful. They know where the spawns are. That purple kill could become so crucial here. Replay's getting in. It's actually going to be such a big distraction. He gets one. Looking for a second. Will go down. But look at the teammates he's managed to get in. No! Shut down. And he has pushed them out here. Temp has to make the work done. Purple so vital on this 5th rotation into mid bio. And you can see them struggling to kind of get in here. They want to flood it. but right now, just not really got the bodies to do so.
We just hopped on board with Slack. We've seen him run an AR and AW. We've seen him run that sub right now for eLevate. His biggest impact has been felt with that up-close and personal gun, currently sitting at 16 and 14 with 3 captures to his name. There's a nice gunfight victory against Hook, but there it is, the counterpart of Hook, Temp, there to immediately pick up those final 2 kills. Canisters all over this next hard point. We'll see if it comes back to hurt Slasher. A nade flying in, he's able to stay alive with the help of his teammates. Early control and circle going back over to Denial.
Oh, he stayed alive from the canisters for so long, and he's going to use them to try and do something, but he is going to use his teammate. I think he actually managed to pick up that kill. But right now, still in the hard points. And it's, you know, I said this hard point is one of the ones where they're just going to go kind of crazy with the amount of flooding that goes on and contesting. Both teams trying to push it out just a little bit here. More about the rotation to Eskies than anything else.
I love the play call from Denial. Instead of trying to flank all the way around green, they know the timing window is in their favor to flood 3 players through ice. They're able to continue to get the numbers advantage inside the hard point, but now Classic is broken in. He gets spotted by 1. The headshot comes in from Slasher. He picks up 2. Denial just doing a better job of trading the kills inside the hard point, but because of that 2-piece from TJ Halley, eLevate has gotten control. They'll get the scrap time, and Bryce still only 10 seconds separating these 2 teams.
It's just a very, very tight game. Rotations could be the difference. Hook will be on the rotation first, but no, he has gone down. It's now Slack. Slack goes down. Big gunfights going on. Classic goes down as well. Both teams desperately trying to win this rotation battle, and it will be Denial that have it first of all.
Replays trying to get control of middle bio for his squad. That is a big gunfight victory. Gets taken down, though, in the red cuts area. Heads up play from Saints to just try to play his life. Unfortunately, they do chase down the kill. The pitch coming in from eLevate. This is the push they need. They cannot let the score get out of hand, and they do just that. 4 down momentarily for the Wolfpack.
Now, here comes the danger zone, Courage. Realistically, 30 seconds, yes, they need that time. They do, but they can't afford to let Blue Hill go. So when it comes down to 15 seconds, I think both teams may actually end up affecting an early rotate here. There we go. Both squads will actually be going for it. This could be huge. It's going to be eLevate who get the scrap time, but it could come down to this.
Slack just killed himself.
Oh
Slack
my
just
God.
killed himself with the explosive. Thankfully, though, he has 2 teammates there to back him up. That could have been a catastrophic failure.
It may still pull out that way. Look at it going down. TJ Hatch from Salon. Hook now coming in. They don't have as many bodies as they would have done, and he's going to secure it. And it will be Denial who now have Blue Hill. And you've got to be asking yourself, does that 1 kill matter all that much? We're going to see with the next 40 seconds who holds it.
eLevate, the last time around, could not break into blue. They're up against the same task again. Denial knowing exactly where to look at all times. Saints now on the flank.
Pinch.
We'll see if he can get the entry kill inside the hardpoint. Challenges both players, but the split body shots come down. Denial still surging in both teams, flooding from the different areas of the map. Denial, though, with a 30-second lead.
TJ Halley looking for the 3rd, but just not able to. Saints now flooding in at the same time. They have managed to rip it away. This is a lot more contested hill this time around, and eLevate will now have control. But it will bring them close just about enough. They need a good rotation. They need a good hold on green plat, because, like I said, you don't want to rely on Bio Hill on this map, especially when players will just play super sneaky on it.
Both of these teams so even in every department in this game. Replays doing a fantastic job for Denial, picking up that objective. 178 to 181. Full hardpoint control over to eLevate. They've now regained the lead with only a minute and a half remaining.
This is actually huge. If they can hold this, or at least just go up a little bit to go into it, but it can actually be Denial. Denial have managed to break it, and both teams are just trading back and forth here. Get their heads together, realistically, eLevate. Go for a good pinch. You do not want to go down into that next hard point.
They've decided to try to flood 4 players through green. Slasher positioning himself perfectly with that AR. He's able to pick up 2. Slack now inside the hard point. Slasher's cleared up 3. We'll see if he challenges player inside the hill.
Looking for the second, gets it as well.
Both. Continuing to stay alive.
Still
the final
down,
challenge
though.
Coming in.
Still down. They're still going to have to fight for the TJ Halley. Really wants his scrap time.
He's just spinning around.
They need to go up. Managed to get it. They are now going to pretty much go just in the lead here, but this is important. This is a big battle here for Slack. He doesn't win it either, so Purple is not in control. And now they have to flood in. This is a hard break for them. Get in. Just make sure they can do the work here as Denial go back in the lead in the last 45 seconds.
We have a tied up game. The hill is contested. What a way to start off this losers bracket finals.
It's
Both
still
teams
tied.
playing for their life in the tournament.
Tied.
Trading kills left and right. Denial and eLevate
Slash
still
is staying alive. It's still tied. It's affecting going to be eLevate by 1 point as it goes back into another tie. And it will be Denial who tie it back up, and they go back into the lead. And both teams are now going to be pushing it once more. It's contested once again. eLevate are trying to push bodies in here. It's so hard to push out this hard point. Look at them flood in. It's been tied for almost this entire period that they've actually been in this hill. As we go into the last 8 seconds, that should be it. It's done. Denial will win it in the final seconds. And there's only, what, maybe 10 points that were up for grabs in that entire hill. I said you do not want to go behind into that final one.
Denial, major shout out to Temp. He picked up a 3-piece there as he entered from red, continued to jump and stay alive, buying enough time for his teammates to flood the hard point yet again. You can see on the scoreboard how many members of each team are in the hill. All 4 members of Denial staying alive inside of that one. And a lot of times you mentioned Hook, you mentioned obviously Slasher and Temp for their massive slaying numbers, the stats they put up, what they can accomplish around the map and getting map control. Well, guess what? My shout out is to replays in that game. 36-32, a 1.13 KD, led his team in captures and had 7 defends. A flawless game from that objective player. Game number 1 going in favor of Denial, but this series is just starting up.
I said before, you know, when I was trying to make predictions, it's so hard with these two teams.
Yeah.
They're both very well rounded. They have, you know, these not really any weaknesses. You can pick out some X factors in both squads as well. But as I said, I was trying to pick out, you know, who can win, and I was conflicted myself. Going into that last hard point, I said before so many times, you don't want to go down going into it simply because of how much it can be contested. The lack of points, both squads managed to get there. I think, you know, it was 203 each for so long, and then they, what, 204 to 212? Ooh. They got, what, just so few points.
Yeah, great final hill, great game number 1 of this losers bracket finals. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. When we come back, Detroit, search and destroy.